When you think Fallout, you probably think this, or even this, but this right here is what Fallout originally looked like, and holy did it piss me off.
Dude, I'm standing right in front of you, how did I miss? Okay, my follower just shot me in the back. Where am I even supposed to go?
Look, I love the Fallout series, and I've always wanted to experience the first game, but I was always turned off by the style and age of it, and don't get me wrong, there are some really great aspects of this game, and I actually enjoyed it for the most part. But Jesus Christ, guys, going into this game blind was way more difficult than I expected. I actually did beat the main quest line and a handful of side quests, clocking in at about 30 hours total. And while there's a lot of good, there's also a lot of bad, and we'll cover that starting with character creation. Like any Fallout game, you start with creating a character, and do not, I repeat, do not pick any of the pre-made characters because they all suck balls. I ended up picking this guy, which has the absolute worst agility, when it's one of the most important skills in the game, which I had no clue about until actually playing the game. Me being a new player, I thought, oh great, the devs made these characters as a simple way to get started playing. But I ended up wasting 8 hours of gameplay and had to start over completely because of how terrible this pre-made character is. If you didn't know, Fallout is a turn-based shooter, and you use something called AP points when in combat. And you need AP points for everything. You want to shoot your gun, open your backpack, reload, move your character, heal, you need AP points. Most people recommend online having somewhere around 9. Well, my pre-made character had 4, which meant I would shoot my gun one time and then have to skip my turn and wait to shoot again, all while enemies would attack me multiple times, resulting in fights being way harder than they should have been. I will say though, I am shocked that the special skill chart has been around since the very beginning, along with a lot of lore, enemies, factions, vaults, music. It's like when Fallout 3 released, Bethesda just took all of these things and slapped them right into their game. I mean, look at the intro for example. Bethesda basically copied Fallout 1's intro along with all of the other things I mentioned. While it is unfortunate as the series progressed, they slipped further and further away from the original Fallout vibe, but that's a topic for another day. So after character creation, you're introduced to the story of Fallout 1. You're a resident in Vault 13, and this big toe of a human being tells you that the vault is running out of water, and you need to find a water chip within 150 days or everyone dies. He hands you a gun, some stim packs, and then it's up to us to figure out what to do, where to go, and how to play the game. We leave Vault 13 with our only lead on where to go being Vault 15, so we head straight there and shit, we need a rope. So while looking for one, we stumble upon our first town, Shady Sands, where we meet this ungrateful bastard who asks you to do all these favors without any reward. One good thing to come from this town is our first follower, Ian. Ian was overall incredible at shooting me instead of the enemies. He would rush into a room and get surrounded, shoot people you didn't want him shooting, block you from being able to leave the room, and just a ton of other stupid things. But for now, I had to deal with it because there was no way I was going to survive without him. After getting the rope and exploring the vault, we of course don't find the water chip there. We have to find another option. We run into some raiders, kill a few to get some better gear, and head into Junktown. We run into the mayor Killian, who gets attacked by one of Gizmo's goons, and being the good guy I am, I help kill the goon. But Ian shoots Killian in the process and makes him hostile to me. Ian gets killed, I end up having 2 HP left, so I have no choice but to reload my last save, which was before I got any of the raider gear. Forgetting to save and redoing a ton of work is a reoccurring problem that I ran into when playing the game. I end up killing the raiders again and head back to Junktown to talk to Killian, which, no lie, took almost half an hour. And instead of fighting the goon this time, I just moved out of the way and hoped for the best. I headed to Gizmo and he wanted me to kill Killian. You can either help Gizmo, who runs the casino in town, for some money, or plant a bug in Gizmo's office to get some equipment from Killian. If you side with Gizmo, you get bad karma, and then vice versa. I ended up going the Killian route, and for the life of me could not figure out how to plant this stupid bug. So I ended up just killing him, and then on the way back to Killian's, the guards became hostile and I had to kill them all, including Killian. But I did end up getting a ton of good loot, so oh well. The hub was our next stop for information on where we could find a water chip. This is probably the biggest town / city in the game. The town's filled with a great atmosphere, interesting characters, tons of side quests and factions. You find out about a rivalry between the Blades and the Regulators, a group called the Gun Runners that are surrounded by Death Claws, which is also insane to see in the original Fallout game. And when asking around town about the water chip, you find out there's this group called the Water Merchants who might have more information, and they tell you that there's a possibility to find one in a place called Necropolis, which is infested with ghouls and mutants. So at this point, I decided I needed to head to Necropolis. I actually went there twice because I could not find the water chip the first time. I literally looked everywhere. After looking around the map, I went back for the second time just to see if I missed something and found out you could enter the sewers. But anyways, I eventually got to this area with a ton of super mutants who kept kicking my ass no matter what I did. It's actually embarrassing how long it took me to kill them. I was looking back at my footage and it seriously took me almost 2 hours and the death of Ian. I'm not gonna lie, the combat in this game is complete bullshit and I hate it. And it's not that I dislike turn-based combat, this game was just unfair. Sometimes the enemies would hit you for 1 damage and then sometimes they would kill you with 1 attack taking all your health. There's no way to dodge unless somehow you get away from them, which you won't, and you miss shots standing right in front of them. Ian accidentally kept shooting me right before the enemies would attack, which didn't help at all. And I even tried throwing grenades and they would either do a ton of damage, none at all, or completely miss. And when you throw grenades or use guns on this game, you have to get so close to the enemies to the point that after you're finished with your turn, they're basically breathing down your neck. But after 2 long hours, I get the water chip and head back to my vault, saving everyone inside, and the Overseer has the audacity to say okie dokie, and then ask me to wipe out an entire mutant army by myself. At this point, I go back to exploring the wasteland to figure out where they are, and I find the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm immediately thinking, let me in so I can get some power armor and guns, but before I can enter, I have to go on this dangerous mission in a radiated area called the Glow. This is when I found out how important karma and reputation are in the game. I was supposed to get a speech check option where I could ask this guy about giving me power armor after rescuing a Brotherhood of Steel member. But since I killed some people I shouldn't have, I didn't have a good enough reputation. I ended up having to resort to stealing an item to repair the armor from a man named Rhombus's room, and the dude just kept catching me. But I eventually learned you can enter combat, steal it, and it wouldn't trigger him coming into the room. I head over to the guy working on the suit, repair the suit, and now I got power armor, baby. I head back and wipe out the Death Claws for the Gun Runners, get a laser rifle, and now I'm feeling good and ready to get to that military base. I walk up and it's basically a super mutant Walmart parking lot. They got Gatling guns, laser rifles, and they're ready to smoke anybody that walks up. Luckily, I had 3 people from the Brotherhood of Steel to help me clear them out, but the only problem is they don't follow you inside of the base. They're literally only there to help you clear out the entrance. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? Are you kidding me? There's like 20 mutants you have to kill on the first floor alone, and they only help you kill 4 on the outside. It's like, alright bro, good luck in there. So I head into the base alone, which mind you is filled with all these force fields that either damage you when you walk through them or won't let you through them at all. And then try to kill all these mutants by hiding behind a wall and using as many stim packs as I can. Well, after that, I also realized that I needed more stim packs. So I had to travel all the way back to the Brotherhood base, deal with these random encounters, go look for stim packs, realized I couldn't buy them there, head over to the elevator, get on the elevator, go back outside, walk over to the map, travel to the hub, deal with the random encounters, go to the shop vendor, walk to the edge of the map. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but when you do it over and over again, it ends up eating up a ton of your time when you could just fast travel from the location to begin with. So once you pass the force field on the military base, you better hope you have a high science skill or you're going to be hitting that button and reloading your save over and over until it works.
Alright, let's blow this up.
After this tedious dungeon, I headed back to Vault 13, learning about the mutant master that needed to be killed at the cathedral. I walk upstairs to meet this guy named Rhombus, who I convinced to take me to the master, which looks like a radiated ball sack. and he tries to convince me to tell him where my vault is. So at this point, I'm like, screw it, and he turns me into a mutant and then kills everyone in my vault. The end. Okay, so there's actually multiple endings for this. You can either choose to let them win, fight and kill him, which drove me insane because of the infinite amount of mutants that kept spawning, and that's not an exaggeration. They literally keep respawning after you kill them, even if you killed all the ones in the base. After I killed him, I went back to the vault and got kicked out because the Overseer thought I would be a bad influence, and honestly I wish I could have killed that prick. Overall, I did enjoy most of my Fallout 1 experience and would probably play the second game just to experience it at least once, which apparently is more divisive than the first one. I did enjoy the foundation that the game laid out for Bethesda, and they did so much right with the vibe and the world building, from the choices and consequences to the Vault Boy, Pip Boy, leaning heavier into horror and mystery, and just a ton of other things in the art direction. What I absolutely hated was the combat, the inventory system, how vague it was at times with the importance of stats or where you're supposed to go. It was clunky, unfair, and just extremely tedious for the most part. Now, this is all my opinion, and that doesn't mean it's a terrible game. I mean, it came out before I was even born. I actually think they did some things better than Bethesda, and I even hate the direction that Bethesda has been going with their games. Fallout 3 seemed like it paid homage to the originals in most ways, while their recent 76 has spit in the face of most of their fans. I think Fallout 1 is a game everyone should take the time to experience if you love the franchise, even if it will piss you off.